In my today's video, I am going to give you some easy, simple tricks and techniques which is going to help you to speak with your child in English. For most of the families, the child tends to pick up mother tongue more easily and more quickly because that's the commonly used language in the house by the parents, grandparents and the caregivers. But when the child steps out in a social environment, when he's going to school, when he's going to other classes, there most of the time the language spoken is English, and because your child is not in the habit of hearing this language from you in the house, it becomes difficult for him to understand this language when he is outside in a social setting. So parents, I would advise you to start using and exposing your children to this language inside the premises of your house. In my today's video, I am going to give you some easy techniques which is going to help you to incorporate this language inside your house with your children at your comfort level. Use very simple language with your children. Don't incorporate words in your sentences which your child cannot relate with. Using complex language or complex words with your children can demotivate them to use the language. So try to use simple words, simple sentences to which your child can relate and eventually they can respond. Some example of these simple sentences can be: do you want to play? Let's sleep. Let's read together. Look at the beautiful trees. So these are some simple sentences which incorporates very simple words. So at the initial stage when you're trying to introduce this language to your child, try to be very simple and at the base level. The next is use very small sentences with your children. Do not try to speak with your child in lengthy English sentences because it is going to get very difficult for the child to process the information which you are trying to give him. Sentences like let's go to sleep, otherwise it will be very difficult for you to wake up in the morning. It's a very long sentence for your child to understand and respond or even reciprocate to it. Use very small sentences like it's bedtime or let's sleep. Rather than using too lengthy sentences, it is always advisable for you parents to use short and crisp sentence for your child to start developing and grasping the language. The third point to note here is please speak very slowly. Because English is not the mother tongue and English is not the language which is used by everybody and every time in the house, it is and it will always be little difficult for the child to initially grasp the language. So it is very important that you go slow with your words so that your child can read your mouth, he can look at your expressions and everything and try to understand what is being told to him and also reply to it. Do you want to drink water? Too fast. Do you want to drink water? Better way of speaking. Please try to pause between the words and also between the sentences whenever you are trying to talk to your child in English so that he can understand and grasp the language. Number 4. Using same sentences. Yes parents, repetition helps in building the memory. So if you use same sentence again and again with your child, it will get registered in his memory and he will also use this sentence when he is talking to somebody. So for example, if you want to ask your child, do you want to eat? Please make sure every time when your child is about to have breakfast or lunch or dinner or he has to eat his school tiffin, always use the same simple sentence, do you want to eat? Don't use variations like are you hungry, come let's have our food. No. If you try to use different versions of the same sentence, it can confuse your child and your child will not be able to relate to it and it will not get registered in his memory. So set some standard sentences and use the same sentence again and again in the different kinds of situation, but the sentence should be same. The next one is stick to it. Yes, if you want to teach your child talking in English, make sure that you are sticking to this rule. So one day if you talk to your child in English and the next day you don't, then the standard breaks. So parents, even if there are other members in the house who you think will not be talking to your child in English, maybe the grandparents, or it is very difficult for the caregivers to talk to them in English, it is okay. But whenever you are talking to your child, you have to make sure that you respond to him and also talk to him in English only. If your child is asking you for something like Mama pani de do, please do not give him water till he asks you to give it in English. Mama, please give me water. So the child knows that his demands would be met only if he is talking in English. So set that standard and stay. So these were very simple 5 easy techniques which you can follow at home and see your child talking fluently in English. Hope you like this information and you're going to apply it with your child in your house. For any queries, for any other further understanding, you can always comment in the comment section and I will always be there to give you a reply. Subscribe to my channel so that you can get regular notification on all my videos, which is going to help your child to communicate smartly and speak better.